It looks like Wednesday Addams has a mysterious stalker, and he could be the next major bad guy coming in Season 2. We also know this stalker has to be threatening considering the text he sends Wednesday, along with a picture that literally says, "I'm watching you." On that note, let's see who could be her new stalker. Let's also look at the 10 best and funniest Twitter reactions to this show. To start off, Sheriff Galpin. After we found out that Tyler was the murderous Hyde monster, Sheriff Galpin could leave town, but he's more likely to stay in Jericho to keep an eye on the outcasts. Galpin might think that 16-year-old Wednesday Addams is to blame for many of the bad things that happened in Season 1 of Wednesday. This would explain why he would threaten and watch her after Tyler's arrest, but we also think he could still be threatening Wednesday to keep her quiet about what she found out about Jericho and Tyler's mother. The bad blood between Wednesday and Sheriff Galpin makes him a likely suspect, but there's still a lot of doubt that he is the stalker. The fact that Galpin didn't come into the coffee shop until a few minutes after the picture of Wednesday and Tyler was taken. It's also not clear why he would be at Nevermore Academy while the students are leaving. Following up, Lucas Walker. After getting in trouble for spraying red paint all over the outcasts at Season 1's Rave and Dance on Wednesday, Lucas seemed to have changed his mind and wanted to make up with both the normies and the outcasts. In fact, Lucas Walker was the one who told Wednesday that Laurel Gates was still alive and in Jericho. The thing is, he may have helped Wednesday at the end of the first season, but that doesn't mean he's forgiven her. During the first season, Lucas and Wednesday didn't always click with each other. In fact, Wednesday even beat Lucas up once. Also, Lucas might still blame Wednesday for breaking Crackstone's statue and making fun of the town's obsession with pilgrims, not to mention that she also played a small part in Mayor Walker's death because of the feud between the Addamses and the Gates family. If that's the case, Lucas might be trying to get back at Wednesday by following and threatening her so she stops messing with Jericho. What's more, Vincent Thorpe. Wednesday shows that the famous psychic is not a good father to Xavier because he only sends Xavier to therapy to avoid a public relations problem. It seems like Xavier has a strange psychic link to Tyler's Hyde monster, which might be related to something Vincent did when he was a student at Nevermore Academy. Since Xavier probably wouldn't have bought Wednesday a cell phone without his father knowing, Vincent could be one of the few people who knows Wednesday's phone number. Also, because Vincent had to keep a close eye on Xavier so that the tabloids wouldn't find out about him, he probably knows that Xavier was interested in her and that she had him wrongfully arrested. Vincent could be telling Wednesday to stay away from his son, and if he's the stalker, his wealth, power, and past ties to the Addams family make him a more dangerous person. Not to mention Yoko Tanaka. Even though the first season of Wednesday doesn't show why the vampire Yoko Tanaka would follow and threaten Wednesday Addams, she's still suspicious of her, and the reason is just that she doesn't know much about her. Enid talks about Yoko a lot, and Wednesday's werewolf roommate even stayed in Yoko's room for a short time. But it's not clear how Yoko feels about Wednesday or what her real connection is to the murder mystery, so she could be threatening Wednesday for a reason that's not clear. Yoko could have also been at the weather vane when Wednesday got coffee with Tyler, but that's also just us grasping at straws. This would also explain the picture she's got of her having coffee with Tyler for her birthday. Honestly, out of all the potential suspects, Yoko seems like the most ambiguous one for sure, but we'll probably need to see what happens next in the series to gather more evidence when it comes to the character. Let's look at Coach Vlad. From students to officers to teachers, everyone's a suspect when it comes to Nevermore Academy. Coach Vlad, who teaches fencing at the outcast school Nevermore Academy, is another person with a mysterious past who seems suspicious. We're super unsure when it comes to the kind of person Vlad is because he's definitely one of those characters that don't reveal much about themselves. What we do know is that he almost stopped Bianca from leaving the school when Joseph Crackstone attacked Nevermore in the Season 1 finale on Wednesday. Even though Vlad would probably still like Wednesday Addams because of how good she is at fencing, we don't know enough about the Nevermore Academy coach to rule him out as the stalker. At the end of the day, he could just be one of those creepy stalkers who are in it just to mess with kids. Lastly, Connie Jorgensen. Even though Connie Jorgensen only shows up briefly in the first season of Wednesday, it seems like she has more strange ties to the outcasts than the Addams Family show lets on. Connie, the owner of Uriah's Heap, shows up on Outreach Day when Ajax and Enid work in the antique store. So far, what we know is that she dresses differently than most people in Jericho, protects the stuff roadkill cereal in the store, makes a mysterious tea from mushrooms, and forbids Enid and Ajax from taking coffee breaks. What brings her into this list is that she later buys Wednesday's black dress for the Raven dance from Connie, and straight off the bat, this shows that she's connected to Nevermore Academy. It's not clear why she would follow Wednesday around though, because we haven't gotten bad vibes from her yet, but the Jericho newbie is still a possibility. And now let's look at the 10 best and funniest Twitter reactions to the show. First up, Wednesday and Enid's friendship. Even though most of Wednesday's characters are based on ones from the Addams Family franchise, Enid is an original character made for the Netflix show, and she quickly became our fan favorite. Enid is Wednesday's roommate at Nevermore Academy, and the two characters couldn't be more different. Enid is a bright spot in Wednesday's life, and even though they don't get along at first, by the end of the season and semester, they have a touching relationship. We definitely want a second season with more screen time on their friendship because they're honestly pretty funny together. Not to mention, their relationship is really nice because they always have each other's backs. Up next, Wednesday's posture. No matter how good or bad each Addams Family movie or show is, they have all done an amazing job of portraying Wednesday right down to the way she stands. There are tweets where people have recorded Wednesday's bad postures over the years in cartoons and in shows. This tweet is funny because it literally just shows different versions of the quiet child with a ponytail but with a slightly bad posture. Wednesday's constant slouching is a great example of body language in movies and TV shows, and it says a lot about the character without her ever saying a word. It's another part of Wednesday that Ortega has nailed, which is why it's no surprise that she's become a lot of people's favorite. But the Addams Family was also a famous one, and Christina Ricci's representation of Wednesday was also super apt, not going to lie. Coming up, Ortega is instantly iconic. People are talking about how Jenna Ortega should be added to the books for bringing the most iconic Wednesday looks ever. Since the Addams Family started in the 1960s, 7 actors have played Wednesday, and each one is memorable for different reasons. But these tweets show how Jenna Ortega's portrayal of the character has become instantly recognizable. The actor gave the character more depth than any other had before. The fact that she's an emotional teenager who goes to boarding school gives her a much bigger story arc than ever before. Even so, Ortega spends a lot more time in the role than most characters do, since the Netflix series is 8 hours long and is all about her. Still, Ortega nailed all of Wednesday's habits, like the way she looks down, raises her eyebrows, and stands awkwardly, and she made the role her own. Finally, the color scheme. We're pretty sure we've seen the countless pictures going viral on Twitter and show a black house next to a pink one. Yep, that's the reference people are sharing to compare Enid and Wednesday's relationship. The tweets also do a great job of drawing attention to the show's cinematography, which is a pleasant surprise since Wednesday is made by Netflix. Many people have complained about the Netflix look, which usually means that colors are too bright and the shots are too typical, but there's no denying how beautiful the series looks. It also shows perfectly how different Wednesday and Enid are. Honestly, we wouldn't expect anything less from a show that's directed by Tim Burton. Well, that's a wrap for this video, so who do you think could be Wednesday's Stalker? Let us know in the comments below. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.